Revelation 2255. From the 10th of March 1942. Spiritual flight to the heights. To impart the spiritual good of the soul. As soon as the spirit frees itself to swing into spiritual regions, a change takes place, for the soul, which gives the spirit freedom, awaits its return. That is, it desires to participate in the knowledge which the spirit has gained in the kingdom of light. And thus the human being stands in desire for the light, for knowledge, and can now be instructed accordingly by its spirit. He can impart all knowledge to it because he takes the spiritual knowledge from the spiritual kingdom down to earth. He tries to reproduce in images to the soul what he has received in that kingdom. This process is like the reproduction of an image which the eye has seen and which has now been mentally recorded in order to let it arise again as an image. The more often the spirit dwells in those regions, the greater will be the soul's desire to be instructed by it, and the more able it will be to receive the spirit's messages. For once it gives the spirit within itself the freedom to soar upwards, it will also be willing to take part in its activity. The activity of the spirit, however, is the transmission of what it has received itself. In the spiritual kingdom, every being of light will want to externalize itself, that is, want to radiate its light to the spiritual which still lacks it. Consequently, the spirit in the human being, if it unites with the beings of light, must accept this spiritual radiation. It must, so to speak, absorb what they give away and thus increase itself within itself. And again it will want to give itself away, and that to the soul which shelters it, which shapes itself accordingly in order to be suitable for receiving light again. A soul which gives freedom to the spirit within itself also strives of its own accord to work on itself in order to be able to be in constant contact with the spirit and thus also with the spiritual world, which constantly provides nourishment for the spirit within it. The soul will be able to speak of extraordinary successes, of spiritual higher development and significant progress, if its entire striving is directed towards the connection with the spiritual world, for then it will pay little attention to the body and unite with the spirit, then it will consciously fulfill the task it was given for earthly life. It will overcome all bodily desires, it will be in constant contact with the spirit. It overcomes all bodily desire, thus also all matter, and finds happiness in maintaining intimate contact with the spirit and receiving priceless possessions from the spiritual kingdom. And then it is in the state which enables it to enter the spiritual kingdom after bodily death unencumbered and unbound, where only its knowledge is valued, which signifies imperishable wealth for it in eternity. Amen.